Hey, what's up, gamers? This is StealthyMarfus coming at you with some more Dark Souls action. Alright, so I'm kind of tired and sick today, but I'm not going to let that get me down. We're going to be, hopefully, making it all the way through Sen's Fortress today. I'm doing my commentary in post again because I wanted to do some editing stuff because this video would have been really long otherwise. So anyway, when you first walk into here, you're not going to want to step on this plate. I already stepped on it before I started recording because it'll shoot these 3 darts at you that will do a significant amount of damage to you. If you can, you want to try to lure these snake men out one at a time, because trying to fight both of them with a smaller guy like myself, it's a bit challenging. I was trying to parry him, but obviously I failed, but I was able to take him out without getting too much damage done to me. And now we got the other guy over here. Again, trying with the parrying and then failing it again. So this time I just make him bleed and kill him. Unfortunately, with Sen's Fortress, there's not a lot to talk about. It's a bit of a difficult area for dexterity characters because you are so light, and there's these giant swinging scythes everywhere on these narrow bridges with people shooting lightning bolts at you. There it goes. Yep, with shooting lightning bolts and everything. So this area can be a bit challenging. If you are able to do it, or I should say, if you know how to like parry and if you know how to get through these areas, it's not too difficult. Well, I say that now, but in all honesty, when I first went through this area, I thought it was super challenging. I got killed a lot of times. I fell off the edge, and if you fall off the edge, you end up in like this black pit area, which I'll be showing, not at this time, I'll be showing that later on. Because there's some demon titans down there that I'll be wanting to take care of. But there's another one of those switches on the ground here. Just want to step on it, dodge out of the way, shoot those 3 darts at you. And here you have a chest that has 2 large titanite shards. Pretty good pickup if you want to upgrade your weapons or some of your armor. Alright, here I'm going to demonstrate a bit of a glitch with the game. See this sleeping serpent guard down here? You step on him to wake him up, and if you stand between him and the wall and he does that attack right there, he'll blast open the door, which is normally something that shouldn't be able to be done unless if a boulder goes through it. But, you know, me being me, I know this. And you get this little area in here, and you see a man over here trapped in a cage. So let's talk to him.
You seem quite easy. A rare thing in these times. I am Logan. I'm a bit cooped up, as you can see. I have a bright idea. Suppose you set me free. I'm old and empty-handed, but I could repay you with knowledge and sorcery. This place is melting my mind. The inactivity is repressive.
And this is another instance where the master key comes in handy. In fact, if I think about it, it's the most useful instance.
Oh, heavens. Thank you.
You know, you could sound a bit more enthusiastic, you jerk. I just saved your life.
But I must log a few things first, and I owe you a favor. I will return to Firelink Shrine. Speak with me there, so that I may impart my sorcery.
Well, I guess I can't complain too much. He is going to impart his sorcery upon us. So that, I mean, can't really complain about that. Come over here, use the master key again, and you will get a soul of a hero, which is, if I'm correct, it's like the 2nd highest soul value that you can get with a consumable soul. I haven't used any of those yet. Anyway, moving onward and upward. And you listen and you see that 89, yeah, it was one of those man serpent guys getting bowled over by a boulder because he's being stupid. And I want to just show that he can be killed if you just are patient and wait for a boulder just to come and take him out like that. It's pretty funny, and it's really easy way to not take damage. You come down here, and there's 2 more great serpents. Man, sword, deal, people, things. You know, I think they're called man great serpents or something like that. I don't really remember. But they're really not that difficult. If you got 2 of them at the same time, though, I've figured out in the past that is extremely challenging. So try to take them on only 1 at a time if that is possible. Alright, and here we have Onion Bro.
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Zig Meyer of Katarina. Quite honestly, I run flat up against a wall, or a ball to be precise. I'm afraid I'm a bit too tough to be outrunning those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
He has a pretty good sense of humor. But in my opinion, Zig Meyer is one of the saddest characters, or has the saddest story of any of the characters in Dark Souls. His story is pretty sad. He basically abandoned his wife and daughter for adventure, and that's why he's here. And there's a bit more backstory to it, but you meet his daughter later on. If I'm correct, her name is Ziglend. So, Zig Meyer is a very prideful man, and he gets stuck in a lot of areas in the game that you'll find him, and you help him out. I'll go into that detail a bit later. But anyway, you kill this, and you open this chest, and you'll get a ring of steel protection. That is the ring that I have on right now. I had a friend give it to me because he said he was never going to use it. And so I said, alright, that sounds good to me. Doesn't really bother me, whatever you want to do. So he gave that to me. Which doesn't make sense because this guy probably could have used it. I will be replacing that ring later on. It's just for this place I wanted to have it because it would just give me that extra boost of defense that I wanted. Here's another one of those switches. I was going to see if I could get that guy caught in it, but I didn't. It shoots from behind. So you're going to want to look out for that. I tried parrying him, but I failed again. Was able to kill him though before he did any serious damage. Drink another Estus. I still have 8 left, so I'm doing pretty good on Estus. Alright, there's one of two things you could do. You could either run up the stairs towards the boulders, which is not the advisable way to do it. Instead, this is... Yeah, I got hit. I forgot about that. Yeah, I get hit by one of the boulders. No big deal, though. It's not like they do a whole lot of damage. Even though I was standing still, I still got knocked back by a boulder. Dark Souls logic. Anyway, you're going to want to go down here. You're going to want to follow this boulder to the bottom of the slope. This is pretty important because you actually get 2 decent items by doing this. Alright, the first decent item that you get is in here. See that chest over there? Oh, well, actually, first I wanted to show that there's a hole, a little pit right there that can be filled up by the rocks, and you're going to want to have that get filled up. And then I go over and I show this. See this little chest? Right here, you don't want to trust it. It is very deceiving. It is in fact a mimic, the first mimic that you meet in the entire game. I remember when I first saw it, it almost killed me because if you open it or try to open it, it will eat you and you will lose a lot of health from it. So do not open up that chest. In fact, attack it. You can tell the difference between mimics and normal chests by just in fact attacking them and seeing if it moves. And then there's a simpler way. The mimic's chain to the right side of the chest, it kind of goes outward, whereas the normal chest has like a curled up chain. Normal chest curled up, mimic kind of a tail. Well, it's not curled up. Just think of it that way. Alright, other than that, that is everything that you want to do down here. And we're going to go over here to this lift. You could try to make your way back up, but that's not advisable. You're just going to want to take this lift. See how it's blood-stained? You're going to want to remember that, because if you're not fast enough to get off this thing, it will stab you into a bunch of spikes at the top of the ceiling. Pretty gruesome way to go. I think that does kill you in one hit, if I'm correct, but I'm not positive. In here, we have another area. I wasn't positive if this was the same area that the rocks were rolling down. It isn't. You don't have to worry about it. This door cannot be opened. Normally, it has to be opened from the other side. Not that big of a deal. And again, I was just making sure it wasn't going to come down this way, but as you can see, it does not. So I went and checked down. Well, I was going to go and check down there. In fact, that is just the area. Well, I'll just explain it when I get down there. Boom, gets launched off. You're going to want to have this pointing the opposite direction that you want it to shoot. Like, see here, I have it pointing the opposite direction of the way I want to shoot, and it shoots out that way, towards that tunnel. In this tunnel, if I'm correct, it doesn't actually lead anywhere. It just kind of falls off the edge. And here I'm going to show what these separate tunnels lead off to. This first tunnel leads to that first man serpent that I killed, and you can glitch through that again, and you can break open the wall without even needing to use one of the boulders. You can use one of the boulders, just flip it around so that way it's pointing the opposite direction of that hole, and it will burst open the... Yeah, I was trying to prove my manhood right there and running into a boulder head on. As you can see, I live, so obviously I'm an amazing man. Anyway, so here I'm going to be showing a couple of other things. First, I wanted to show what's over there. You have to go up these stairs. It's a lot easier to have those boulders not rolling at you. You can do it otherwise without getting hit, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, though. And then you want to plunge attack that guy, kill him, get a soul of a proud knight. And in all honesty, it had been forever since I've been in this area, so I looked out here and I wasn't positive where it led. So I was kind of confused. So I didn't go out there at first. I do go out there here in a few minutes. I wanted to check what was in this other door first. This other door, I can't remember. Oh yeah, it leads up to some sorcerer armor, black sorcerer armor, and the sorcery hush, which makes you really quiet when you walk. Alright, and there you have a door that you can open. And that is the door that you couldn't open in the first place. And then I get a random 500 souls from out of nowhere. I think that lizard man over there committed suicide, is my only guess. Yeah, that's why I was looking out, because I was just making sure nobody was going to try to attack me. I jump out, nobody's around. I see there was an item over there, and I kind of looked down the pits to see if there was anything down there, although to my knowledge there was nothing down there. It might just lead back down to those black pits I was mentioning about earlier. But anyway, you get this slumbering dragon crest ring, and I'm going to skip forward. Alright, I wanted to show this just because this was kind of funny. This was back at the first area. I killed this guy, but I thought he came back alive somehow. As it turns out, it somehow glitched to where he was standing up. Hello. Alright, back here again. Alright, I wanted to speed up the footage a little bit because this is one of the areas that not a whole lot's happening. I showed just about everything that needs to be shown. There's just a lot of stuff now that if I just speed through, it'll just be easier. There's another switch here. Make sure you go through that. And make sure that does not shoot you. Alright, and here we have 4 of those scythes. You just want to run through them as fast as you can. And here we have a few serpents. Here's the first of the serpents. I parry him and stab him in the crotch, like any normal person would. Stab a serpent in the crotch? Sure, why not? It's not like he's got anything there. He's just wearing a loincloth. Kick him around a little bit. I thought, I won't deal with you. Then I heard it hiss at me. I was like, oh no, you didn't. I went up here and killed him because he was obviously he was taunting me. So I just wanted to end his life because of his taunt. It was his fault, really. I mean, I didn't do anything. Alright, sorry about that. I was just taking care of something. Anyway, you want to kill this man serpent, you're going to come over here and you're going to pick up yourself a large titanite shard. 2 of them. Alright, coming back up here, past the dead serpent that shoots lightning bolts at you, you're going to have more of these swinging scythes. I look over there because there's usually another bolt-flinging serpent over there, but it wasn't over there, so I was a little confused. So I go over to investigate. Maybe it was hiding from me. Sure enough, there really was no serpent, so I was a little confused, but nonetheless, oh well, life goes on. So we're going to come up here and go through another white light. Here's the giant that was tossing down the boulders at you. Yeah, if you want to get your revenge, I don't actually know how to get to him. There might be a way, there might not be. In the past, I've just shot arrows at him. Alright, here's a Balder Knight, a bit tougher than his previous brothers, but he is no big deal nonetheless. Coming down here, gonna look around, make sure there's nobody following me. Have another Balder Knight. And we backstab him, feeling paranoid, look behind myself, and then I kill him. And I check to make sure this isn't a mimic because I couldn't remember. And then I get a Flamestone Ring. That makes it so you can't take as much damage from fire attacks. Pretty convenient if you're going up against a pyromancer in PvP. Just something to remember. Alright, here we have a giant douchebag. We have a guy who throws giant fire bombs at you. Yeah, I don't like this guy very much. So we're going to want to run up here. We're going to run up here real quick so you don't get hit by fire and then jump off the edge. Figuratively. There's actually a bonfire down here. Nothing to worry about. You're going to want to light this bonfire and rest at it because the boss is coming up pretty soon. So just in case you die, you can respawn down here instead of all the way at the beginning. I kindled the flame so that way I can have 10 Estus flasks for the fight. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, and you basically just drop right out of where you were originally. Not that big of a deal. And then you come up here, you want to run past all of the fireballness. Make sure you don't get hit by that. If you do get hit, no big deal. As you see, it didn't do very much. As you can see, it didn't do very much damage to me. I'm going to get 2 large Titanite shards from that guy, and I'm going to want to kill this guy. Yeah, remember this guy? Yep, he was from the chapel in the beginning of the game. Same guy. Way easier since now you're way higher level. Alright, here we go. Coming across here, we're going to meet Ricard. Right here. He's got a bow and arrow, and he's got his own sword. His own sword is actually pretty interesting. It's a rapier, but at the same time, it has a very interesting two-hand strong attack. I'll go into that a bit more detail later, if possible. I make sure that those aren't mimics. They are not. You get the rare ring of sacrifice here, and you also get the divine blessing. Rare ring of sacrifice and ring of sacrifice are nearly the same thing, except the rare ring of sacrifice makes sure that you don't get cursed. If you have that on and you die from a curse, you will not end up being cursed. And as I stated in one of my previous videos, if you're cursed, you get half of your health, and that is just a giant pain in the butt. You do not want to deal with it. Alright, moving forward. Looking to the left, we have Mr. Balder Knight over here. Hello, Mr. Balder Knight. He actually managed to get a parry on me, which nearly killed me. That is what happens if he sticks his sword out like that, like she should be doing. Okay, like that. If he does that, that means he's going to try to parry you if you attack him normally. Instead, I parried him because he annoyed me. Even though I could have killed him in one more hit, I didn't care. I wanted to kill him. Come over here. There is absolutely nothing to see. So move forward. And I wanted to state out that they have a lot of balls over there. I mean, look at that mass quantity of balls. They won't be running out of those in a long time. It's not like they ever would anyway, because they just spawn infinitely. Here we have 2 cages. You try to open it, it's locked. So I will show you where the key to said locked cage is at. You're going to want to make a little bit of a leap of faith right there at that bridge and come into this little room. Alright, slowing the footage back down again because I wanted you to hear this guy's dialogue.
Ah, what? Who are you? Ah, another undead, eh? I took on Sen's fortress alone, but I'm no different from those vile creatures. I was driven by conceit. Ah, you think you're different? That you can handle it? Yes, I remember that feeling, for I was the same. So, let me help you out with your soul searching.
Alright, and this guy sells you a few things like black fire bombs, those green blossoms, some Titanite shards, large Titanite shards, green Titanite shards, some decent weapons, and some arrows, and the Katarina armor, which is what Zig Meyer wears, a couple of, and the Balder armor, and the Thunder Stone Plate and the Spell Stone Plate. Those just lower magic damage and thunder damage. I'm going to buy a green blossom from him just because I can.
Go along, try and make something of yourself. But nothing will come of it.
Yeah, that guy's a little bit of a dick, but whatever. I'm going to speed up the footage here again because there's a lot of stairs to run down. A lot of stairs. And then we have here another one of these person thingies. Pretty easy to kill. And here we have the cage key. Now we can run back up those stairs and go unlock the cage. My goodness, there's so many stairs to run up. You can't even make it in one full stamina bar unless you have a really long stamina bar, which I don't. So Here we go. Have another leap of faith. If you do drop down that hole right there, don't worry. It actually leads you to an item that I didn't grab just because I didn't really care to. Anyway, you're going to unlock cage and step into cage. And you're going to lower in the cage. And you're going to be down here towards the beginning. Now, if you ever want to come back to Sen's Fortress, you will have a shortcut. Shortcuts are what make this game amazing. Okay, maybe not the soul thing, but having that shortcut is extremely convenient. You want to make sure to run across this because that guy will try to throw one of those giant fire bombs at you. Kill the archer right there. And footage is going to go back to normal. Alright, here we are back again with normal footage. And here we have the giant that is sitting up there throwing the freaking giant fire bombs at us. We can finally get our revenge on him. Just hit him enough times and he will eventually die. I accidentally made his anus bleed. I do apologize. He almost landed on top of me. No big deal. 3,000 souls and a Titanite chunk, which is really handy actually. Gonna look at these and see that they were hollow. They were hollow as an egg. And you look over there, and that is our boss. That is our boss for the area. Alright, so let's go take him on. But before I do go and take him on, I want to summon some help. And might I add that this summon is awesome. He is so awesome that you don't even need to fight the golem. There's a very high percentage that you won't even have to fight the golem at all. It's ridiculous. And it takes a little while, but this is Iron Tarkus, an awesome summon. Like I said before, there's a very good chance you won't even need to fight the Iron Golem at all, because he is so powerful and so heavily set for defense. But anyway, here we go. Iron Golem. Let's get to it. He's going to start off by trying to hit me with a bunch of air. No big deal, though. It just hits the wall. And I get knocked off the edge. Yep. Getting knocked off the edge. Pretty fun stuff. Anyway, that's going to end this video. Next video, I'm going to show how to beat Black Iron Man Tarkus, yeah. I'm going to show how you can beat the Iron Golem. Until then, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to become part of the Marfus clan today. And, as always, game on.